Hey, how's it going guys? Ancient Rune here, back with another Borderlands 3 build video, and today I'll be going over my non-DLC Zane build called 3 Trees SAK. This build is based off of the OG Zane setup of being able to use clone, drone, or barrier with one skill tree. Now, since we have gotten so many skill points over the years of support, this build is very easy and kind of not hard to make with a clone build with no DLC. But this setup allows you to use any action skill you want with plenty of guns to use. This build is great at keeping up kill skills via clone kills, so if you mess up keeping your skills up, you can have clone kill an enemy and you have kill skills that are back in action. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The save file will be found in my Discord, which is linked down below, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, and for the gear, you just want to use any good gun, whether it be DLC or no DLC. Since I just want to go full no DLC and not include Season Pass 1, we just have base game stuff here, but it's just any good gun. I really like the Health Shock, the Rowan's Call, the Crit, the OPQ system, the No Pew Pew, and the Kibsworth. All really good guns on here. All with Sentinel Cryo, because I mainly use Sentinel, but you can also use Barrier Crit or Digiclone Ammo Regen. But I found always having Sentinel for Sentinel Cryo to be really good. But I also generally just keep using Clone, but since we don't have anything else to use, it's just kind of best to use Clone. You can still use Barrier on here, and Barrier Crit is still very good, consistent damage bonus. And then for Clone, I like to use the Sandhawk and just element match with the bosses I need. I usually just go with Corrosive, but with some bosses you may want Shock, sometimes Fire, just element match with that. And then for the shields here, I like to go the Transformer just for the Absorb, but you can also go Band of Sidorak for the topped off uptime, or a Frozen Heart. I wouldn't use Action Skill Start. I'd probably use Sentinel Move Speed like I do with the other ones, as it's just good for helping boost Violent Momentum. But this, if it breaks, it freezes enemies for Icebreaker, so that's really good there. For the grenade, I use the It's Piss, just the best thing to use here as it's a debuff. You can use on Grenade Throw for some nice V2 damage, and then you could use it as low level as possible. But since we don't really have any bonus elements here to fly a dot on us, because of Duct Tape mod, you could use this at max level and probably be fine. The main thing it would hurt is Clone, possibly killing it if it shoots enough. Have the Executor or the Anti-Freeze for the class mod I like to go to. We could also use an Infiltrator or just a purple class mod with Violent Momentum. I found the Executor to be really good here just because it gives crit damage and cryo damage. Just some really good skills and a really easy farm, so I like to take that over Anti-Freeze, which is just kind of adding more gun damage. It is a lot of gun damage being added, but I much prefer the diversity and formula from the Executor, and it can have an easier farm. I'd probably focus on getting weapon type and splash damage radius. The splash damage radius is for hollow points because of our crit damage. You'll get plenty of hollow points anyways, and it'll be the best way to mob here, so having that splash radius increases the hollow point. And then this next, or the third thing, could be splash damage. It could be some crit damage, manufacturer crit, mag size. Action skill damage is also really good here. Anything that helps the build, but prioritize weapon type damage and splash damage radius. The top skill rolls don't matter, they're all really good. Now you can use a Seeing Dead on here, and this is probably one of the few DLC limited builds or no DLC builds where you can use a Seeing Dead. If you have Season Pass 1, it can be nice here, but you do lose a lot of damage, and since Clone already can keep your kill skills up, it's not too needed, but it can be used here, especially if you find a good Seeing Dead. But I highly recommend using an Executor or a Anti-Freeze. And then we have an icebreaker for our artifact, as well as snowdrift I like to use for bossing, taking advantage of violent momentum. But for mobbing, I like to use the icebreaker for the 2 damage you get from frozen enemies, and then the victory rush is just really good for V1. But I'd probably focus on getting an icebreaker with good passives, including cryo damage, mag size, area of effect damage, weapon type damage, any elemental damage that helps you, just anything that's good. Area of effect damage in the 2nd or 3rd slot will give splash radius as well, which then again will help with the hollow points. I'd probably prefer going like weapon type, and then mag size and area of effect damage. Using splash weapons, you're definitely going to want area of effect damage. Weapon type matters less when you have an icebreaker, its hiss, and weapon type on your class mod, but still very impactful here. Just a good amount of options to look out for, as well as movement speed and action skill cooldown rate can be nice on here as well. And then for the skill tree, you're going to want to go violent momentum. This gives a lot of gun damage here, a couple hundred, really good. Violent speed, get movement speed to increase violent momentum damage. Salvation, only 1 point for amazing lifesteal. Drone delivery for drone to throw a grenade. With cool hand, violent violence, and playing dirty, and as well as cold bore, you can kind of just even out skills as you wish. Cold bore is mainly for the swap bonus damage. I don't really use it much on this build. Not that you can't. Personally, I don't. So I mainly go with cool hand, violent violence, and playing dirty. But it's still nice here. You just kind of even these out how you wish. Playing dirty, I usually go less on, but if you're using Seeing Dead, playing dirty is a lot better. With Good Misfortune, you can go less if you use a Seeing Dead here, but if you're not, going 3 Good Misfortune is very helpful here. Violent violence, I usually try and max out as much as possible while still evening out everything else, because fire rate is just really good. Playing dirty is nice for the extra projectile chance, but since it's not always active, it's not always the best thing here. And then you want to go death follows close for the extended kill skill duration and the kill skill bonus. And kill skill bonus does boost violent momentum, so you do want to keep that in mind. And then for the red tree, we're going down to the capstone. We have pre-mutants for R's and digiclone's mag size increase, borrowed time for the action skill duration increase, Donnybrook for the clone increased damage, and just some nice consistent gun damage with some health regen. Fractal frags, so clone can throw a grenade. Now if you are using Seeing Dead, clone can throw grenades more than deal damage, so if you end up using Seeing Dead, then you can take this off. They'll probably put it just in another pointed duct tape mod. Duct tape mod mainly here for the splash immunity. Throwing your grenade can be nice, but not why it's used here. Quick breather for helping clone survivability and recharging our own shields. Old U for if we go into fight for your life, we can just quickly pop this and clone will explode and we will come back up from a free second wind. Pocket full of grenades for grenade regen, mainly for boom enhance, but we do consume some grenades elsewhere. Supersonic Man for move speed to help with violent momentum. Boom enhance is just better clone DPS and survivability based on the grenades consumed, so that's why we go pocket full grenades. Trick of the Light is just a really nice bonus element here. And then we have double barrel for clone having grenade, or not grenade, a gun that we give it, so it's just really good there. And then here we're going all the way down here, mainly because we have the skill point. We have ready for action for the skill recharge and delay. We have brain freeze for helping freeze enemies, especially good for icebreaker. We do have the sentinel cryo bonus element here, but not always, so it's just a consistent way of having icebreaker going. And then you can have rise to the occasion or adrenaline, where I like rise to the occasion for some nice survivability. When your shield is low, you'll get a lot of health regen. And then you can put a point into distributed denial for some shields, but I don't here. I take it out of rise to the occasion. And then we put a point in really expensive jacket to have a reduced status effect duration, which is just really nice. And then for the augments here, for drone, I like to go static field for recharging our shields, and then that does for the movement speed and fire rate we get here, which is a huge buff and definitely wanted here. Probably static field's the most flexible. You could put Winter's Drone or Boomstay here if you wanted, but not really if you needed in a gun build. For digital clone, we go with Schadenfreude, but not really important. You can also put in which one's real, where when spawning or swapping with clone draws more aggro. I feel like clone personally draws enough aggro, so I like to have shield tanking more often. And then Doppelbanger is like the must-have, so you can blow up clone and then replace it somewhere else when needed. And then with barrier, you're gonna want to go all-rounder and Deterrence Field. Deterrence Field is just really good for shield survivability, and it's just like will stagger enemies when they come up to it, so mainly melee enemies. Like in Guardian Takedown, you'll deal with that a lot, and some Malawan troopers. And then for Mayhem modifiers, really good here for no DLC Zane or just limited DLC. You have Speed Demon, the main thing you want here, and then Post Mortem's the best thing here for a very hard modifier. You can just dodge these or kill them. Then Healy Avenger and Drone Ranger are really good for second wind. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The OG Zane setup is back, and it's just better than ever and still super good. It's not my favorite no DLC Zane build, but it is the best way to set up a clone gun Zane build. Again, you can find the save file in my Discord, which is linked down below, as well as my other socials. If you haven't, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.